What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Jade Simone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, then subscribe and like and comment on this video and my recent videos. Make sure you go check out my hair video, my wig reinstall. I just did that, I think yesterday or last night. It was a late upload. Go check that out before you watch this video. And bam, we about to get right into this video. As you can tell, this is another cook with me video. On the menu for dinner tonight is fried pork chops, fried potatoes, and green beans. I almost forgot, and green beans, okay? And let me just tell y'all that it was freaking delicious, amazing, 10 out of 10, as always, per usual. So I just went in with my seasonings. Y'all can see here some garlic powder, onion powder, Saison. I use mustard to bind everything. Sometimes I use an egg, but I wanted to use mustard this time. Mustard, black pepper. I had this ranch seasoning that I got from Dollar Tree. I added that in there. And the new garlic and herb seasoning that I was telling you guys about in my last video from Aldi's, I had to add that in there. I had to, okay? Then make sure y'all hands is clean before y'all just go ahead and be squishing the meat all around, okay? My hands is clean. Now I'm just, spreading all the seasoning throughout the meats and goodness. And yeah, so now I'm about to add my seasoning to my flour. While my meat is marinating, I literally use the same exact seasonings that you saw me use for the pork chops. I used them for flour, okay? I didn't add nothing different at all whatsoever. So onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, Saison, the garlic and herb seasoning, and yeah, and the ranch seasoning. Can't forget the ranch. So that's what I added to the flour, and I gave it a good whisk around with a fork. Make sure I evenly incorporated everything into that flour. I recommend adding cornstarch if you want your pork chops to be extra crunchy. Add a little cornstarch to this mixture. I didn't have any, so I didn't add any, but I recommend it because 10 out of 10. And now I'm just cutting up my potatoes. Like I said, I am making fried potatoes. So if you guys watched my last cooking video, or maybe like one before the last one, I made shrimp and like potatoes. This is how I would usually make my potatoes for that particular meal. Even though I boiled them that time, I usually would fry them like I'm about to do to these ones. But I didn't feel like doing all that last time. But yeah, so I used pretty much the same seasonings that I used for the pork chops. I think the only different seasoning that I did add to the potatoes was the Goya Saisonador. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry, but it's the green bottle. You're going to see it in just a second. I did go ahead and use my Goya green seasoning, okay? Yes, there you go. Saisonador Total. That shit right there, chef's kiss. I did have a little bit of that, so I added the rest of that to my potatoes. I gave it a good mix around with my hands to get everything nice and evenly incorporated. Bam. And now it's time for the moment I have been waiting for. It's time to dip them damn pork chops, all right? So I usually would put a top on a lid like this. I mean, on a what's this called? A container like this. Oh, God, my brain is all over the place today. I usually put a top on this and shake it up, but I couldn't find the top to this particular container, and I didn't want to make a mess, even though I am making a mess. So I did it like this anyway, okay? I just patted the flour into it, and I just laid that thing in the oil like that, so, okay? Bam. And now, while those were frying up, I did add some oil to my other pot for my potatoes. I added oil, and I didn't add any butter. I added a little bit of butter later on once the potatoes cooked a little bit. But I started off with just oil, okay, to fry them up. Then I went ahead and gave that a good flip. The other one wasn't quite ready yet, so I let it sit for a little bit longer. And then my potatoes were finished at this point, okay? I let them cook and do what they do, so they're off to the side. Now I'm going to work on my green beans. I added some butter. I added the half a packet that was left from my potatoes. I used that for my green beans, okay, for the Saison. I used half a packet of Saison, some garlic powder, onion powder, that garlic and herb seasoning, I believe. I did not put any black pepper. I don't usually put black pepper or anything like that in my vegetables, so I didn't do that. But yeah, and I did give that a good mix around. And then I just let that sit and cook and do what it do. I let it sit on low. And voila, bon appetit. Oh, my God. Delicious.